Yes. soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. And Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be sight. The clouds be rolled back as a scroll. The trump shall resound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul.
Looking out at many of the Rambo family and our friends, we are getting older. The hair went from dark to light. It's my privilege and honor to be here today. Thanks to Pam for inviting me. She wanted me to say a few words, and that's all I have, is a few words. And I don't want to step on your main speaker. She's my sister, and I love her. Donna, well, it's harder than you think. Anyhow, I looked in one of my old books, The Christian Legacy, written by Reverend William Jackson. One of his sections was love and unity. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if you love one to another. John 13:35. Donna married the Rambo boy that was oldest, Doug. And she had two children, Pam and Dougie, seated here in the front row. Donna came to Decatur from Arkansas, and she had one of the greatest laughs. You could always tell when Donna was around. Her voice, her smile, and her laughter. I had a teacher work for me, and he was the same type of person. You could be at the other end of the school and hear the laugh, and you knew who it was, John. Same way with Donna. It was a wonderful laugh. It made you at ease, and you knew you were with family. Donna's sister, and I'm sorry, I have to do this. My intention is not to have any of us have tears, because Donna was such a laughable and lovely and considerate and serious person at times. And she decided that she wanted to marry Doug. And Doug decided that he wanted to marry her. And so it be. Donna's sister put this on, or her daughter of her sister put this on the internet. And I was going through, and I looked at that, and I said, I have to have that. And it's part of what's back there, but this is Donna's high school graduation picture, and then as she was in recent years. You look at those two, it's the same smile, the same laugh. Donna never had to change, but Donna was Donna. A strong-willed, lovely, laughable person that wanted to and did raise her two children to have a lot of the strengths that she had. So, Mayon, her sister, but she wanted to let her relatives across the country know that sweet Donna Rambo, her only sister, I said I wasn't going to do that. Her only sister passed away on Monday. She was a beautiful lady. That quick smile and that great laugh. So I wasn't the only one. We all know it. She always signed her emails to Mom, "Love you, sister mine." And that's about the sweetest goodbye ever. Well, they were, I think, extremely happy when they chose each other and got married. That Donna was always tough. She knew what she wanted. She had chose Doug. They were a great team. You know, they worked together. They saved better than most. They quickly went from that apartment living, you know, the 2 apartments they were in, to living in a fix-up house, which happened to be across from Grandma, and on to that new white brick house out there by Belmont. I enjoyed going there. And I was proud of Doug and Donna because they built their own little empire. As I said, they were a great team. They came down to Eva and my house many times. Doug and the whole Rambo clan, I'm allergic to mushrooms, but the rest of you, I'm sure, were just like when I was growing up. Whether it's Doug on one side and Dick on the other, or Tom. Jerry didn't get into it because he was the youngest. But when the mushrooms were passed, Mom fried a great big plate. It just came in front of me and I saw 2 forks go down like this and like that. They were on my share. Doug was part of that. I'm sure Dick got his share. And since I was allergic to them, I didn't care. But I tell you, I could find them just like they could. Anyhow, they came down to our house because they figured they went to Michigan to hunt mushrooms and hunted them around here. Why not go down the fields? And they did. And I pictured, I think, back there where they're holding up 2 or 3 bags of mushrooms. I think the mushrooms are bigger in southern Indiana than they are up here. At least I told them that. Anyhow, in addition to the mushrooms, they only started down there sometimes April 1st. And by May 15th, they were pretty well gone. So they still came down and hunted geodes. How many in here know what a geode is? A number. I carried about 100, 120-pound geode out of where we were finding them to the road to get it in the car. I never did that again. That was one of the heaviest pieces of rock I ever had a hold of. It's still in my yard. So if you come down and visit us, I can show it to you. Anyhow, my 3 daughters, Chris, Cheryl, and Cindy, loved to come up, stay in Aunt Donna's house when we came up to see Aunt Ruby, the Grandma Ruby to them, Mom to me, and then they were extremely happy when they came down because they got to roam the woods with our family. Love and unity was in that Christian legacy. And Donna and Doug practiced that. Doug passed away early at age 48, I think 1983. But he was having fun, loved his family. July 3rd, out running around the yard and fireworks, and I don't know what all he was doing. And it was too much. His heart exploded. That lady honored love and unity for the next 47, 48 years. She did not remarry. She continued to raise her family and grandkids. She honored love. Larry's here. He told me just this morning she couldn't have been a nicer neighbor for 40-some years. Love and unity always was a byword of their union. No one is perfect all the time, but all of us here and other places loved Donna. She will be missed. I tried to see her just a couple weeks ago, and Pam was nice enough to meet with my family as we headed to Myrtle Beach for ball tournaments. And Pam said, Mom's not feeling well, and told me about not wanting to go on dialysis. Put that hanky in here, didn't know what he did. But anyhow, we'll miss Donna, and I need to introduce now a person dear to my heart. The few words I've said are not enough to repay Donna for all of her love and kindness to the Rambo family, and she will be missed. At this time, I'll introduce a person that many of you know. My mother had 6 kids, 5 boys, I'm the last one, and finally, 1 girl. I think she would have had a dozen if the girl hadn't come along. Anyhow, she gave her enough names to make up for the misses. You know, I'm a miss, Doug was a miss, Dick was a miss, Tom was a miss. We're all a miss except she hit the head on the nail when she got Janet, Kay, Sue, Rambo, Lowe. She married that next door neighbor, Tom. Sis, it's yours.
Good morning, everyone. And we are, like Philip said, gathered today to honor the life of Donna Ray Henson Rambo. Donna was such a big part of my life. Like Philip said, she lived across the street from us, and I babysat for Pam and Doug for years. And she did teach me a lot of life things. And I am so grateful for that, because Mom just wasn't really talking about everything. Moms sometimes aren't. But Donna loved her family, Pam and Dougie, and as the grandchildren started coming, Even more love made her smile. Parker, Seth, Jesse, and Nathan were the highlights of her life, as well as her great-grandchildren, Natalia and Aiden Ginter, and Logan and Joe Arnold. Donna also spent many years at our local GE plant. She worked there over 33 years. That's a long time to work in a factory, a very long time. But she was determined, and she knew that was her job. And besides that, she had a lot of friends there. You could tell when she walked out with a smile on her face. She had fun that day. Donna and Doug were my first bosses. At 11 years old, I had my first job, and it was babysitting for Pam and Dougie. Old habits are hard to break. I made $15 a week, and when Doug and Donna worked overtime on Saturdays, she insisted that I got paid time and a half also, because she got time and a half. So then I made $19.50 a week. I thought I was in heaven. She was always a fair boss. And many nights, her and I sat and talked for hours. The kids would be sleeping, and Doug had taken off, probably the two brothers, to get a sandwich or something. So Donna and I sat there and talked. And she taught me so many things I am grateful for. Because without her knowledge imparting to me, things wouldn't have been as good as they were. She was also fond of her next door neighbor, Tommy. The guy sitting over there, beside my brother. She hired him for jobs around the house. Painting their garage was one of them, and any other job that he could earn spending money for. And I loved helping him spend that money. She told and taught me so many things about people and life that I will always be grateful. She touched on the subject of the birds and the bees too. I never told my mom about that. I figured that was best left unsaid. Donna loved her garden. Every year she planted okra. That's a southern dish. Yes, we have it around here, but she grew it from the seed up, and she loved her okra. And, you know, I don't know if I should admit this or not, but I kind of got to liking it too. She and Doug also enjoyed traveling. When the 3-week GE shutdown came, they were usually off to some interesting destination to explore and visit, to fill in days also. She liked to hunt rocks, especially a species called geode, which I think Brother Phil already reiterated on that. They were plentiful in southern Indiana, and usually the trunk was full when Doug and Donna came home. I'm surprised sometimes the car made it because they really were heavy. I remember stopping to see her after Doug had passed away, and she was sitting on her front porch crying. She looked up at me and said, "Why? Why did he leave me?" I wish I knew the answer, but I didn't. Only our Father in heaven knows the answer. And one day, if we believe and follow his ways, he will tell us after he introduces us to Doug, Donna, and other family members. May God bless you all and keep you strong. We will miss her dearly. And we all love her dearly. Thank you.
find out what's going on.